Welcome to the Matt Beck Podcast. Woke up this way. He's got a lot of cool stuff he's gonna show you today. The latest news, industry topics, and business tips. For all hairstylists and salon owners, it's time to flip the script. Grab your precision scissors, barber combs, and swivel twist razors. Let's cut a bob, a quick shag, pixie cut with a little bit of flavor. Check out the live classes, product reviews, let's rock on. Don't forget to check out freesaloneducation.com. I woke up this way. It's gonna be a great day. Chop it, clip it, spray it, flip it. I woke up this way.
Welcome to today's class. Feeling good. Excited to cut some hair today. So if you guys can, do a couple things for me. In the chat, if you're new to the show, type new in the chat. If you're not new, just type hi, because I want to see who's on here. Glennis, what's up? Good to see you. We got Jess. Good to see you. Chanel. All right. Sue. Good to see you. Nympha. Sometimes I butcher names, and I apologize, everyone. Joyce, good to see you. Noelle. Noelle's new. Everybody say hi to Noelle. Say hi to Lucy. Natalia. Mimi. I love attempting all these names. Just trying it out. All right, guys. If you can, shoot me a text, say hello, 215-608-2612. That's how you know when the show's when I go live on the internet, because the internet doesn't always tell you guys when I'm live. So that's the best way to do it. Also, make sure that you share the show. So just click any platform that you're on right now, hit the share button. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. We're gonna cut some hair. It's gonna be a really great time. So hello to all of you guys. I see all of you. Where are you watching from? Post that in the chat. And we're going to get started. Let me just make sure everything's good. All right. All right, so let's get started with today's class. So today, what we're going to work on is cutting half of a haircut with a razor and then the other half with a scissor. I want to show you guys the differences. We're going to cut a long layered haircut, so I think you guys will get a lot out of that. This will be a versatile cut, so you could obviously do the entire cut with one tool if you want to. What I want to show you guys is what the difference is in the end result. That maybe we get a softer result with a razor, maybe we don't. Let's see what happens. Does the hair look more damaged on one side than the other? Maybe, maybe not. So let's check it out. That's kind of what we're going to go over today. I think it'll be a really fun experiment, but also the other thing that will be cool to show you guys is the different way that we hold the hair, the different angles that we create when we're using a razor as opposed to using a scissor. So that's going to be the tools. The choice for tools today that I'm going to use is my Mizutani scissors, obviously, to cut the one side, and then I'm going to use the Donald Scott carving comb, which is a tool available on our shop, so you can see that going right there on the bottom of the screen. If you go to shopfse.com, you can purchase any of these tools that you see me using today. If you want to support the show, support Free Salon Education, that's a great way to do it, and I really appreciate all of that. My hair looks great. My hair is out of control. I've cut it twice now since quarantine, and usually by like the third or fourth time that I cut my own hair, it's so jacked up that I have to have somebody fix it, but there's nobody here to fix it. So please come back, everyone. All the stylists here, please. Soon, hopefully, soon. All right, guys, cool. Let's see. Jess says, can't wait to get a razor. I can't wait for you to get one either, Jess. Hello to Pakistan. We got Oregon, Allie on here. Chanel from Wyoming. Joyce from NYC. Vicky from Alabama. Julie from Las Vegas. I wish I was in Vegas. We got India. Savarna? Cool name. Italy, Michigan. Awesome. We got people from all over the place. All right, guys, thank you so much. Make sure, again, share it with your friends as we get started. We're going to have a good time. So let's get them involved as well. Let's get this show as big as possible today so we can have as much chatter as possible. Again, if you're new, type new in the chat so everybody can say hi. We got a lot of the OG watchers. We're 34 episodes in. That means we've done this 34 days in a row. And we're not stopping this show. Even when quarantine is over, we're going to keep doing this thing. So if you like the show, please just hit the share button, hit the like button, and we're going to get started. So here we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work the hair back. Let me get over to my other camera here. Turn that off. Let me get over to the other camera. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by working the hair directly back. I see all the new people. Welcome, guys. All right, so I'm going to brush the hair straight back. And now I'm going to start my sectioning. Sectioning is going to be very simple. We're going to basically be splitting the head in half because we're doing two different types of haircuts on the one head. Same haircut, different tools. So straight back. And the key here, guys, one kind of cool tip is that I'm going to use my Ergo paddle brush. Turn this down a little bit. I'm going to use my Ergo paddle brush, right? So on a paddle brush, cool thing about the bristles, some of you guys might not know this, some of you guys might. When you look at a paddle brush, you've got a vertical way, and then you've got horizontal, right? So if I work this brush horizontally, like this, back and forth, combing through the hair like this is going to add tension and pull to the hair, because when you look at the bristles, see, let me show you. Here we go. So you see the bristles, you see how you can't see through the bristles there. Now, if you go through vertically, you can detangle. See how you can see through the bristles there? So a paddle brush is a very versatile tool. It's why a lot of times when I'm prepping hair, getting it ready to section, I use the paddle brush first vertically through the hair like that, and then I'll go through horizontally. Once I get the hair where I want it and detangled, then I'll go through horizontally to really get that tension and pull the hair back. So vertical first, definitely starting at the ends, work that through, and then as soon as I get the hair where I want it, then I'll go through horizontally with the brush just like this and get the hair working back. All right, start our vibes here. Okay, so let me grab my clips. I'm still here. Still here. All right, got the clips. We're going to start our sectioning. We're going to go straight down the center. So I look for her nose. I go over top, and I comb straight back just like that. Get the hair flowing in the direction I want it to go. And then I'm going to take from the nose here with the tip of the comb and just work it back all the way down to center back. Just like that. And I'll comb this over. So some of you guys that are just tuning in, also, I'll share something else with you guys. But if you're just tuning in, what we're doing here is I'm going to do a haircut, one side with scissors, one side with the razor. 3 things I want to figure out. First off, or that I want to share with you guys. The first thing is I want to show you guys the different techniques I'm going to do to create the same result, right? Or a similar result. The second thing is, does one side end up looking more damaged than the other? Because a lot of people freak out about a razor, and I want to share that with you. And then the third thing is, what does the weight look like? The different densities within this haircut when I finish it with a razor or with a scissor. Is the density a little bit different? Because what I'm going to do is I do want the two sides to appear a little bit different. I want to show you guys some of the benefits of a razor over a scissor, and then some of the benefits of a scissor over a razor. So that's what we're going to get into. All right, so I went straight down center back, just straight back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate. Actually just going to clip off one side. Turn it a little bit. Put my clip there, and then I'm going to go right on the center back here, and I'm going to clip across. Just really separating the two sides. Comb that out tighter. There we go. That just makes it so I won't cut one side as I work through this. All right, so I've got the one side sectioned off. Now we've got our open side over here, and we're gonna continue working our haircut. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut a layered face frame in this cut. It's gonna be pretty simple haircut using a stationary guide, using elevation, so that we can cut a nice light face frame in the cut. All right, here we go. So let's say that we're basing this on her having thick hair. I want to do that because we're going to use some elevation, and a lot of times when I would go in and use a razor, I would do that because she has thicker hair and I wanted to soften the edges. So we're going to go through here, take a diagonal forward parting like that. Then I'm going to bring the hair over to me and I'm going to elevate it up in the air. I got to back this out a little bit. Okay, so here's another thing. If you guys have questions, I really encourage questions. Please post them. Type Q and then put your question, just like Jess did here. So let me answer Jess's question. But if you have a question, just type Q and put in your question so I can easily see it in the chat. Jess's question is, what comb is that again? This is the YS Park 339 comb. I like it because it's got nice, it's not a big difference between the teeth, right? So we've got, let's say we have a 332 here. You can see how wide those teeth are. My goal with this comb is, this is more my precision comb. So I get a pretty good amount of tension, but not too much with this side. And I get a lot of tension with this side. It also has a nice little sectioning hook. So when you're taking out your sections, it's easy to work those through. That's kind of the biggest benefits. The other thing I love about this comb, the YS Park comb, is that it really holds the hair nice. So like some combs, not a lot of combs, I don't use a lot of combs, but some combs, when you put it in the teeth, like it would fall out. The teeth somehow, I don't know how, but hold the hair really well. So when you go to comb, you can have pretty good control of that section. So, all right, now we're gonna work up. Elevation is gonna be high, and I'm gonna be working just slight, basically parallel with the parting, right? Not this parting, but parallel with the center parting. So it's a slight over direction with my section. So here, go just like that, and I'm gonna go and start my cut right here. All right, so we'll bring that up, just double checking my tension, and a cut. So I'm going right over top of that parting. So now I'll take another diagonal forward parting here and bring that hair over to me, using that stationary guide in front of me. Just like that. Running my fingers parallel to the parting. Like that. Cool. All right, everybody following along? Sarah's got a question. How do you know if you need to elevate it or just pull it horizontal? So great question, Sarah. So because she has thick hair, that's why I'm elevating, right? If she didn't have thick hair, then I would want to keep a little bit of weight and I would just pull it horizontal like this and cut it here. But because she has heavier hair, the higher I lift this section, the more weight I take out of that haircut. So that's the goal there. That's why I'm elevating it and bringing it over. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Bring it over to me. Right over that parting. You can see I don't really go past my second knuckle, focusing on that tension there, cutting through. Back out a little bit. All right. And I'll show you guys, we're getting close to where it's really starting to create something here. And show you the angle that we're doing. So still bringing it forward across the face and then up parallel to the center part. Go to that second knuckle, like that. Comb it and bring it to me. There we go. let me turn her so you can see what's happening here. So as I comb it out, you can see that face frame working in there. You see that angle starting to create. And we're just gonna keep working our way back until we run out of hair. John, welcome from the Philippines. Good to see you. Would you do this on curly hair? Not coil, but curly. Absolutely, 100%. So with curly hair, I may go lower on elevation depending on the type of curl and depending on the thickness. But I mean, it all depends, and it's hard to say without the client here exactly what would happen. But if I wanted a little more height in that curl, a little more height in this area, I would elevate it. If I wanted it to just fall nice and full with the curl, then I would go through and I would cut it low elevation. Here, through, cut. And what a lot of you guys might not realize is that we're actually, because we're pulling this hair all the way from back here, it's actually layering the haircut back here. See that, where that falls? So this is gonna live on the side of the head, and it's actually layering the entire thing as we go. So we're not only cutting a face frame, but we're cutting layering as well. Now we've moved into basically vertical sections. Bringing this around, barely anything to cut, literally just dusting a few ends there. Probably nothing to cut here, bottom, maybe a tiny bit. Yep, just a tiny bit. So now we've got our complete face frame. Here, show you guys what it looks like. So you can see the layers that happen throughout the cut, the face frame that happens in this cut, really nice. So that's like basically you could do this exact same thing on the opposite side, then you have a really nice full layered haircut, except for the back, it's gonna be the longest because that's where we over directed everything to the front and cut it here, so it gets heavier and longer into the back. So what you can do, if you wanna layer it a little bit more, which we're gonna do in this because I wanna show, you know, a full haircut for you guys, and I don't want any of it to not be cut. So we're gonna go through the back, and I'm gonna work basically pie-shaped sections around and just bring everything traveling guide to behind the ear. That's basically where we're gonna end it, because this piece here is gonna be our shortest piece. So we're basically just connecting that together in it. So here we go. Vertical section down. Actually, probably gonna work on the other side. So I'm gonna move to the other side because I wanna cut short to long in this cut. So that's really what I'm doing. So I'll cut short to long across. Okay. So I'm really just connecting. Hello, camera. Come with me here. Come with me. Okay. So there we go. Now I'm going to elevate it. I'm going to cut that short to long. I can see in the back there, and then I can see this part. I just want to take off this small corner that's happening in these layers. And that's going to be a traveling guide around. So I'll take a little bit of new, a lot of old, bring that up into this section. Yeah, there we go. So then you can see it's easy to see your guide because you've taken just a little bit of new and a lot of the old. Cool. So I'm just pivoting around the head shape. Like that. And basically doing that from the high point of the head. So this high point here, I'm doing a pivot around that over to the edge of the ear, or right to behind the ear. The rest of the haircut, so you can see, I mean, maybe you can see it, I'll explain though. there's not a lot to cut at that point. It was just dusting it. So that means that these layers are actually shorter than what this would have been. So it connects it all together. So that's really just connecting it, adding a little bit of extra light layers into the back of this haircut. And then we're good to go there. Last thing I want to do on the scissor side here. There we go. Let's see. Last thing. Grab my stool here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work just some horizontal sections and blend the back. So I want to set the guideline, set the perimeter of what this haircut's going to be. A lot of people do that first. I was taught in school to do that first. For me at this point, I really like to do that last. I like to set in my perimeter after I get the cut where I want it. So I'm going to comb this over. I'll try to move it so you guys can see the parting as soon as I get it set. So I'll comb the hair over nice and tight, and then I'll take my clip and I'll slide it up underneath like that. So you can see that's the parting, nice horizontal section. My finger is going to go parallel to that, and I'm just going to cut the length in the haircut. Here. Let's see. All right, so I'm just going to cut the length at a nice healthy length. What I mean by that is when somebody comes in and they have long hair and they don't want to cut this, right? They don't want to cut the length. What I'll do is I'll talk to them about what's going to give them the most healthy looking result. So when you comb hair down, see if I take another section, if I can show you, but there's a weakness that happens in the bottom of a haircut. Now, this is a big difference between scissor cutting and razor cutting, depending on the razor, type of razor, but you know, you're going to get a more shattered bottom with a razor. You're going to get a definite more fuller bottom effect with a scissor. So when you look at this section, so there'll be a lot of weak, and then you'll see a higher density happen in hair. So when I go to cut or trim someone's hair to make it healthy, but not to take away too much length, which is the request we get the most, I'll go through and I'll look at the density. Where it is less dense and then gets more dense, I want to cut a little bit into that more dense part, which will give me a fuller line at the bottom. Never forget one of my first boss, Sam Burns. Give him a little shout out. Moved out here to work for him, and I'll never forget. I did one of my first haircuts. I even remember the person, still know her to this day. Gave her a haircut, and I was so proud of that haircut. And then we were out that night, and he said to me, "It doesn't even look like you gave her a haircut." And it was terrible at the time. It's obviously not what you want to hear. But he was right in the fact that I didn't cut it enough, right? So there's sometimes we're not cutting hair enough to make it look healthy and full. And not full in a bad way, but full in a way of like looking just healthy and vibrant, and the perimeter looking nice. So you can cut the perimeter just like I did, and then just soften it a little bit. It will still look healthier than if you just shatter the bottom right away, if that makes sense. All right, so that's the scissor side, right? There's a little bit more that I can cut in here, a little bit longer pieces, but nothing too crazy, and I'll go in and blend that a little bit. Now we're gonna get into the razor portion of this cut. Why don't you guys let me know, let me get that camera back on. Let me know how you're feeling about this so far. Are you enjoying this type of class? Let me know in the chat. And see everybody in there. Let's see what we got on here right now. Did you guys do a good job sharing stuff? Let me see. Oh yeah, we got lots of great people on here watching. So we're gonna get into the razor part, but what I want to share with you guys real quick, and what I want you guys to check out for me, please, is the FSE Now app, which is a lot of these guys that are in on the chat, you can ask them. But 2 things, please go download it. It's our app. It's free. You can become part of the community. I'm going to cut the other half of this haircut in a second. I want you guys to watch this video real quick. I'm going to turn the air conditioning up, and then I'm going to be right back. But I want you guys to watch this promo real quick because this is our app. It's free. It's a community-based app for hairdressers. So it's a professional app. You go on there and you can learn hair. You can share your work, all that stuff. So check it out. Here it is. That makes sense, guys? Pretty cool. It's super cool. I mean, I love it. I love getting on there. You get an alert about these classes as well, but it's the FSE Now app. You go on, you can go to the community page, which is right here, and you can see the feed. Kristen posting her work on there from yesterday. Welcome back to the salon, Kristen. You see when the classes are going to happen. You can click to watch from there, and you set up a profile. So let's look at Kristen's profile real quick. So here's her profile. It's got all of her information, her phone number. You can send her a message as a stylist. You can do message to message or account to account messaging. And then also Kristen's profile shows up on our website, stylistlocator.com, which in turn is searchable for clients. So clients can go there, they type in their zip code, and you pop up your profile. Clients can look at it, and then they can create a profile and send you a message, and you can do their hair. And that's really the goal of that. So pretty awesome. If you guys are enjoying the app, please, all of you OG FSE people out there, all of you guys, I'm talking to you, Lynn. I'm talking to you, Kristen. I'm talking to you, Jess. Who else am I talking to? Akash. There's other people. Glennis. All of these people, you need to go on to the App Store and please leave a review for the app, because first off, there's a couple on there that are like, I can't figure out my account, and I just like to see some great ones on there because we've got all those issues worked out. So please just go give it a 5-star review if you can, and write about it, and that would be awesome. Okay. All right, guys. So now we're gonna move into side number 2, the razor side of the cut. Super excited to share that part with you guys. We're gonna use 2 different tools in this side of the haircut. So one is a 50% carve side. Let me go here. All right, so these are the carving comb, right? This is available on freesaloneducation.com or Shop FSE, which is right here, Shop FSE. $39 you can get this thing. Great thing about this tool is it's got a 50% cutting side and 100% cutting side. So we're gonna use both throughout this cut. I'm gonna use the fine tooth version of this carving comb. So you can check it out on the website if you would like. And here we go. So biggest difference with the razor, we talked about the scissor side, right? I'm gonna clip away the scissor side on both sides here, just like we did on the other one. Let me comb this out. I'm gonna first prepare the hair with Donald Scott Prepare. This is available as well. It's a liquid tool glide, so it's great for razor cutting. It gives a slip to the hair and condition. So I'm gonna spray that on first, and then that prepares it for a nice razor cut. Just really allows you to section a little bit easier. It's got sunflower and coconut oil in it. So just makes the hair nice and soft and helps section it out really, really well. Okay, let's see here. All right, so we're gonna take our sectioning. You move her around this way, just like that. So now diagonal forward, just like we did before. Now here's the difference with a razor and a scissor. I'm now, so that's a good question, Susan. I'll answer that in 1 second. So I bring the hair over here. Susan was asking, which carving comb do I prefer, the wide tooth or the fine tooth? Depends on what I'm working on. So I'm taking nice fine sections here. If she had curlier hair or even thicker hair, I might go with the wide tooth comb. So it really just depends. We also have a tool called the twist. So if you guys can't make up your mind and you only have the $39 for one, you can only purchase one, then pick up the twist because it's got best of both worlds. It's a 25% cutting side, 100% carving side, and then it's got this little twist finger hole here, so you can use that and any comb you want, so you don't have to worry about the comb. So now, depends on the hair type. So here we go. I talked about this before. Now with a razor, the more I move up and down, the more layered effect I get. So what I want to share with you guys is I don't have to elevate the hair and cut it like this. A lot of people do that with a razor. That's sometimes a little overkill with what you're trying to accomplish. So what I want to do is I want to share, oh geez, throw things at myself. So I bring this over here, try to get a little closer and a little better angle for you guys. Cool. All right, so I'm going to bring this over to me, still working parallel to the center parting. So I shift my finger angle a little bit, and now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to work. Let's grab a little piece for a guide. I don't need a lot. I just literally need to see where I cut before. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to do about a 2-inch back and forth motion. The more I do that, the more layered effect it gets and the more weight it takes out. So what I want to show you guys here is now when I elevate this up in the air, like I cut with the scissor, you can now see that that's pretty much the line that I just created. Now it's a little bit shattered because there's another little trick that you can do with a carving comb. So it's a little bit more shattered because it's a razor, but that elevation matches up with what I did with the scissor. So I can have lower elevation, but still get that same effect with a razor. All right, so continuing through here. Yeah, a lot of people struggle with cutting on top of the head with a razor. They don't realize that it's really the motion of the razor that creates that angle, not the actual elevation. So just like that, I'm gonna come through here, 2-inch back and forth, nice soft parting. Now I'll recomb that because anytime I'm cutting a lot of hair at once, this part that gets in down here in my finger has less tension and it doesn't usually cut as well. So I'll bring that over, cut through, okay? So see, we're creating the same angle that we did before. So bringing this over, shifting my finger to be parallel with the center parting here, and then cutting my line. All right, and again, this is the carving comb. You can get it on our website, shopfse.com. Super cool tool to add if you have $39 and you're looking for a new razor. Super cool tool to have. All right. So now we're getting there towards the back. I just want to bring the rest around to me. See what's left to cut. I just used that wrong. The 50% cutting side, 100% here. So now, if she had super thick hair, like really thick hair, and you wanted to break this up even more, which we're not going to do because she doesn't have super thick hair, I could take this 50% cutting side and then take each of those sections and just glide that 50% side through. Actually, I'll just show you real quick. So I'll just glide that, and it takes only 50% of the hair out. And leaves the other 50%, so it just makes it nice and light right in those heavy areas, which is typically right around that area there. All right, so then the last little bit is this back section that we did our pivot around. In the scissor cut, we're gonna do the same pivoting with a razor. Jody, this is a great question. So she's asking why don't you comb the hair over the head as opposed to around the head? For me, the hair's never gonna naturally fall over top of the head, so I don't really comb it over too much. I like to bring it around because this is kind of the line that I'm trying to create anyway. So I bring it around here like that, and I cut it. So everything to about this point here in the head. Oh, let me show you. So everything from, I bring this over, this to me, this to me, this to me, right? Then when I get to this point where it's another curve over, then I start wrapping it around and bringing it to me, because that softens that over direction. Actually, it extends the over direction, makes it's a longer path for it to travel, but that's gonna have a softer fall into the back. So that's my reasoning in my head for why I do it. I do know some people, and there are some cuts that I do where I bring this full top forward and just cut into it. But for this particular cut, I'm looking for a nice soft face frame, so that's why I chose to do it that way. All right. So now we're gonna go in. Thanks, Alyssa. Appreciate that. Cool. Appreciate the nice words, guys. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna work pie shape traveling until we get to the ear. So vertical section down. So now what we did with the scissor is we elevated it, right? And we cut short to long across, like short to long across the top. Now what we're gonna do with the razor, actually I can go to this side here, you guys. So what we're gonna do here is I'll grab a piece as my guide again. I'm gonna bring that into it. It's not gonna be much to cut on this. What I'm doing is just matching up the two corners. So I've got this bottom corner and then that top corner from my guideline. So I just go through and I cut it nice and soft. And I'm gonna keep pivoting around the head shape. So I'll probably take most of what I just cut so that I have a nice solid guide. Sometimes a broken line's harder to find. But really what I'm doing is connecting the two pieces. So I can see my guide through it. And I pick it up and just cut a little bit off the bottom, because that little bit that doesn't go in my finger from the tension or that gets released, I just go through and cut it. All right, so scooping the hair, bringing that new hair towards the guide, working those pieces through. This is gonna be a really cool visual for you guys, those of you guys that watched the first side of the haircut, because you'll be able to see the difference, how it falls with the razor. Will there be a difference? I don't know. My guess is yes. Not to ruin the surprise, but there'll be a slight difference. All right, Grace. So she's saying, how is that different from using a scissor? That's exactly what this class is about. So if you're just tuning in, we cut with the scissor on the entire left side of the head. And now we've gone in with a razor to cut the entire right side of the head. We just finished. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut the perimeter real quick, which is what we did with the scissor. And then I'm gonna blow it dry real fast so we can check out the differences in both sides. I know all of you guys are on the edge of your seat right now. You can't take it anymore. You wanna know the answer? It's coming. It's coming real soon. Real soon. I wanna make sure I'm on the same length here. I can feel the tension in the chat. Just want to know. I'm doing a little pinch cutting. These two sides will never look the same. Like, I know that one for a fact. You can sleep easy knowing that. The blunt side with the scissor and then a soft side with the razor. So I'm just matching up the lengths Super exciting. All right. So I'm gonna blow this out smooth and straight so that you guys, look at this cut though. It's pretty fun, right? So we've now learned 2 different ways to cut one type of haircut. Which way will be your favorite? Which way would be the way you would prefer it? Let's see. It's real, I need to know, maybe. Nice. I'm multitasking on Shop FSE, watching too. That's right, I like it. All right, can't wait to show you guys. We're about to have our blow dry party. You guys know it, they've been on this show before. Basically what that means is I'm gonna turn up the music. I'm gonna blow it dry. If you have a question, type Q in the chat. Q and then your question, just like that, Q, question. And then once I get it blown dry, I will answer your questions. We'll get everything smoothed out. I'm gonna use the Dyson blow dryer. I like that blow dryer. I also really love the Samvia blow dryer as well. Depends on what I'm trying to do, but found this thing the other day. I forgot that I had it and I've been using it a lot. Really like it. Super powerful. All right, product choices here. I'm gonna go with the Joico Defy Damage. Joico is a great sponsor of Free Salon Education. I'm gonna use the Defy Damage Protective Shield. So this is great for those clients that, look, I'm not using that much. Done that before. I use way too much. It's great for those clients that are looking for that protection from heat. And also it's just a bond, it's part of their bond building collection. So there's a spray, there's the, here it is, I'll show you guys. Defy Damage Pro Series 1. You could spray that in the hair before you color hair, and it helps build up bonds, which is pretty cool. You don't have to put it into the lightener, you just spray it on the hair and it works really well. It helps brighten the hair as well. Kicking her, that's part of it. And then you've got obviously styling products to go with it, so we're using that. And then I'm gonna do the slightest bit of Joy Whip, which is kind of my go-to most of the time, just literally the tiniest bit. She doesn't have a ton of hair in this head. Now, if she did have a ton of hair, I would obviously go in there, go crazy with it, but it also has a really firm hold, so I don't need a lot. I'm not looking for that much hold. All right. So I worked that product in, and now we are going to start our blow dry. Janet, don't worry. If you started late, that's totally cool. We're going to start the blow dry, and I'll break down everything about what we've done here right after the blow dry. So we're going to get some good vibes going right here. And let's get started on the blow dry. All right. Kind of thinking right now, like this should turn into like, I should just do karaoke during this whole thing. What do you guys think? All right, Chanel's dancing. Good job.
Gotta get it right now. push all the limits with you right now. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push all the limits with you right now. Get it right now. Right now. Get it right now. Get it right now. Yeah, push all the limits with you right now. Gotta get it right now. Gotta get it right now. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push all the limits with you right now. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push all the limits with you right now.
All right, getting there, getting there. Getting there. This is a pivot point tripod for the mannequin. Pivot point universal swivel, I think, or universal tripod. All right, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Joico thermal protectant spray. Now I know I protected it with the Defy Damage, but I want to just add this in this 80% dry head right now, a little extra protection on the hair. So a little extra shine, a little extra hold, a little extra protection. That's kind of the goal there. I'm gonna clip away the top. Obviously, if she was a client in the salon, I'd probably be a little more careful with her, with the hair in her face. But she doesn't have feelings, so taking advantage of that. All right, let's see where we're at here. Cool. All right. Just gonna finish drying. I'm gonna use a round brush, using the Ergo round brush, also available on Shop FSE. If you're looking for some sick round brushes, these things are awesome because they have a wider barrel and a wider handle, or longer, not wider, longer than a typical brush. Also has a lot of tension. Use tourmaline bristles. So the bristles start out really firm and hard, but they have negative ions in them that help seal the cuticle down as you brush and add shine. So pretty awesome combination to create a really sweet brush. All right. You're really gonna start to see, I don't want that much curl. I'll go with a little bit bigger brush. This is the Ergo 53. This will give me a little less curl, a little more body. We're currently blow drying our razored side, but you can see, nice and soft, skinny, nothing alarming there. So when I round brush, I make sure that the angle of my blow dryer is coming off of the brush like that. See, it's not on the brush because that causes frizz. I want to blow that cuticle down, create that shine in the hair as I go. Just like that. Start to see this fullness. Look at this. Start building up there. Working my way around the whole head here. Same thing over here. So that's a great question, Rebecca. Do the negative ions in the brush take the place of a spray in the thermal protectant as far as closing the cuticle? So they're definitely, the negative ions are definitely better for the hair and they do help seal the cuticle, but I would say that's mostly for, and you know, I could be wrong, but in my kind of educated opinion, I would say that the negative ions are for blow drying faster, so sealing that cuticle, kind of popping those water molecules out, keeping in the moisture, and also adding shine because it lays the cuticle down. But from a protective standpoint, it might help a little bit, but you still want to use a thermal protectant for sure on the hair. I just think it's smart to do it, especially from the wet start of the blow dry to the finish look. Just make sure you have that protection. Mannequin faces. That's funny, Jessica. Let me see. She says, mannequin faces always look like the person who has been in the chair too long and is trying to stay awake. That's so true. Never thought of that. But you know what's funny about that too is that maybe they're just teaching you, helping you practice that. How do you deal with a client with a face like this? Practice that too. Not just how to cut her hair, but how to deal with her negative face. Just kidding, I really don't know. All right, so finishing the bottom here. Loving the amount of body and volume that we're getting out of this. Sweating in here. Working hard for you guys. Working hard for you guys. Oh, that's not the song I want. I need something like... There we go. I gotta update the songs again, guys. I get bored real fast. Okay. So far, so good. Get in there. Get in there. That's a good look. What do you guys think? Leave it? Leave it? I have no idea what you guys are talking about in the chat because I'm not really like, I'm only catching glimpses of it, but it's ridiculous. All right. Finish it up. This is where I'm going to work smarter, not harder. I'm grabbing the Sam Vita blow dryer here so I can work with the nozzle. Now I'm just smoothing the ends, right? So I got all the body that I want. I don't want to flatten the hair. I'm not using this to be a flat iron. I'm using it to smooth and polish, keeping the body in the hair. So something I like to do is just iron with the round brush, which also, because when you heat up hair, right, it starts to break down bonds, and then as it cools, those bonds, let's just say they harden for a visual. And if I do that with the brush and I have the negative ions, I get a really nice sleek result, and I get it in the shape and formation that I wanted it in the first place. So just use that brush, let it sit, let it cool, and then roll it out. So now we're gonna start seeing this face frame come together. It's a good grand finale song. It sounds like it's like really like I'm getting to the end of something. Jessica, I'm not sure I understand your question. I see it, but I don't understand it, so I don't know how to answer it. The razor side looks light and subtle. The scissor side looks more heavy, but I still love it. That's right, Jess. We're discovering things together, people. This is the fun part about these experiments that, you know, it's harder for you guys to do them because you don't have a pile of mannequins over there, for one. And two, you know, maybe you don't have the time. Glad we could do this together. Oh yeah, see, that's like, the music picks up and that means it's like, I gotta hurry. I need to get this done. Show you guys the finale. It's coming. Getting tons of shine out of this thing. Loving it. Thank you, Ergo. Thank you, Joyco. Couple more sections. Here. Oh, see, didn't do it. I should have ended. That should have been my last piece. Right at the end of the song. All right. Also, she has hair in her mouth. Talking about her? She's fine. She doesn't even open her mouth. Okay. I'll do a little subtle hairspray in here. Let's do, I'm gonna do a thermal spray because I don't really want cold in this right now. Oh, this is gonna be such a cool visual for you guys if I can get the camera angle right. I also want to smooth these ends on the bottom real quick because I almost put the flat iron between my legs. That would have been a rough day. Oh, it's 8 hairspray too. All right, here we go. I'm gonna smooth these ends out because I want you to see the difference in the scissor side and the razor side. All right. Cool. Cool, people. Here we go. Now I want to do like the actual last little style of the face frame. So I'm going to use a comb now. Here's like the biggest thing I want you guys to see it and kind of why I didn't want to do it in the cut, but I did it anyways just to demo it for you guys. But that 50% cutting side, I didn't really need it in there. And that's a big game changer for what the end result is on this cut. Yeah, that looks nice. I know, you can't take it anymore. You can't take it. I can feel you yelling at me. Feel you right through the internet. Almost there. Almost there. Oh, I couldn't even do it by that song? Give me a break. All right. We created some cool stuff here today, guys. Some cool stuff. All right. So here's some things I want to talk to you guys about. This is our sort of end result here. And then if you guys have any questions, I want to answer those before I go. So just type Q, put your question, Q, and then the question. Let's get into, all right, so let's break down what we did today, right? So we cut this side with a scissor. We cut this side with a razor. The razor side, 100%, is a little bit heavier here, really removed there, nice and light. But the ends don't really look, they look softer, but they're not split looking, right? And if you wanted to have that soft effect, but you also wanted to go in and just cut, I'm not going to do that right now because I want to show the comparison, but you could just trim up any ends that you feel you want to kind of like adjust a little bit. But when you look at the scissor side, it's not really that different. The biggest difference here is that it's much more thick and full in this part. This is very soft and skinny. So the razor, when you go in and you work that razor up and down, you're taking out so much more weight than you do when you cut blunt with a scissor. So if you wanted to make any adjustments to this haircut, or also looking at the scissor side, you can see how full it is compared to the razor side. If you wanted to go in on the scissor side, and here, one sec. Okay, I got you. I gotta let Christina in. She's not gonna show herself on camera, but hi. Everybody's gonna want to see you now, just so you know. All right. So you can see the this is the razor side. You've got the scissor side. Now the scissor side, you see the fullness in here. The razor, we removed quite a bit of that interior part right around the jawline here. And then I think that's pretty much it. I mean, that's the biggest breakdown there. Now, when you look in the back here, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit and show you guys. So let me see if I turn it a little bit. So here is the razor side, right? Nice and soft on the bottom. So if you're looking for like a shattered edge to a haircut or a soft edge, something a little trendier that way, you could see those layers that we put in as well. Nice buildup of weight right here around the occipital bone. And then on this side, you've got a much more much more symmetry to the weight. So the weight really falls nice. There's not, the weight's not removed, so it has a nice consistency to it. And then the bottom, definitely a little bit more of a blunt edge. Still, very similar in result. Both would take similar amount of time, depending on what you were doing in the salon, what type of hair they had. But if you had somebody with super thick hair, that's why I recommend just go with the razor, because you can go in there, you can cut it, it happens really fast, and you can see how sleek that razor side looks. See if I can spoof it up a little bit. So you see those layers that happen there, and then when you look at the scissor side, it just doesn't quite have as much movement to it. I would have to go in there and then cut into that, or just point cut it when I bring it up and elevate it. So that's the biggest difference, guys. What do you think? Both are pretty. I totally agree with you. Christina, can we meet you? She's already in the other room, guys. She's got to ship. She's shipping stuff, getting everything out to you guys. And then we also are working on some, hang on, let me get this camera on. All right, let's see. Feel good. Feel good. feel like sweaty. It's 93 degrees here today. Not in this room. It feels like it, but lots of lights, all that. Student of the Week Award. I don't know what you guys are talking about, if that even includes me, but that's a good idea. We're actually thinking about on the community running contest for people that upload their work, being able to choose somebody, maybe weekly. That would be cool. And go through and pick somebody and give away some stuff. So that might be kind of cool. We can get the companies to help us give away some stuff as well. All right. So did you guys like the class? Did you enjoy today? I did. I really enjoyed it. Akash is here. What's up? Present in the color wheel, for example, black, brown, pink, white, etc. Why not other colors are present? So Akash, that's like, we're going to do a color class on tomorrow. Color class tomorrow, but to answer this question real quick, and I think a lot of people could help you answer this question, the color wheel, there is brown on a color wheel. It's in the middle, right? So it's when you put all three, red, blue, yellow, together, they make brown. Pink is, so white's not a color. It's the absence of color, right? Or something like that. And then black is not a color either. So pink is on there. Pink would be red with white in it. So hopefully that helps. Cool. Good to know, Jess. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Please go download the FSE Now app on our website, freesaloneducation.com. If there's any tools that you guys want to pick up, just hit shopfse.com. You can buy the carving combs, you can buy the scissors, you can buy the clips, you can buy the ergo brushes, all of it. So would love your support on that. If you need tools, go buy them. If you don't need them, save your money. But if you're looking for something new, the carving combs 39 bucks. These clips are like $6 for a couple of them. You've got the scissors. They're a little bit more expensive, but we do have payment plans available. So you put 50% down and then you pay it off over, I think, 2, 3, 4 payments, something like that. So it makes it a little bit more affordable for you guys. And then obviously the combs, we've got these as well. 339 is my favorite comb. So if you're looking for a new comb, you want to switch things up, go check out the 339. I think that's it. Lynn, thanks so much. Gotta have that brush. All right, cool. Good. Glad you guys have that. Also, can you guys do this for me real quick? Can you text me when we get off the air? So think about this number in your head, 215-608-2612. 215-608-2612. That is my phone number. Just send me a message, say hi. That'll get you on. So I'll have your information, and I text everybody before the class so that you guys have the link and you know when we're going live and all of that. So just make sure that you text me, 215-608-2612 to get that alert. Is that it? I think that's it. Tomorrow we're going to do color. So I'm super excited for that. Let me see if what I think is going to happen is going to happen. I'll know that in 1 second. Okay, cool. So Colin was going to be on tomorrow. He's not going to be on here. He's going to maybe next week. We're going to shoot for that. So I'll be doing color tomorrow. What kind of technique do you guys want to see? Do you want to see a highlight technique? Would you like to see block coloring? Would you like to see red? Would you like to see blonde? What do you want to see? Let me know, and we'll work on that tomorrow. Adele's saying highlights. I'm with you, Adele. Super cool. And Akash, you better show up tomorrow. I want all of your questions, color questions. I want them tomorrow, okay? It's going to make the class great if you're there. So make sure you're there. All right, Adele's saying blonde. I see her the only one in the only one saying what she wants to see tomorrow. All right, Christina's saying highlights. All right, cool. Is there a certain type of highlight technique you would like to see? Something trendy. All right. I hear that. Highlights, please. All right. So highlights it is. We'll do highlights tomorrow. Akash, awesome. Thank you. Blonde. All right. Highlights. So copper highlights, that's easy. Melting, we did that, Lynn, but we could do it again. But probably not tomorrow. I want to do some kind of highlights. Highlights and baby lights. I like that, Jess. Good call. I'm thinking baby lights too. I feel like it's still a pretty big trend. Really brightens up the hair. We got a lot of clients coming back. They're going to need lots of highlighting, but they're not going to want stripy highlights. And when you lose your highlights, you have like 4 months of growth. Baby lights is a good transition to get your roots back up. So maybe that's what we'll focus on. All right, cool. I see some more votes for baby lights. So we're into that. All right. Tomorrow, we're going to do baby lights right here live, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys for sure. I appreciate all of you guys today hanging in there with me. You did a great job sharing the show. Please, if you're still doing this, if you haven't hit that share button yet, hit the share button. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And then also take this video anywhere that you can and share it with as many people as you can so that we can get the word out there as well. Because we got to keep growing this show, guys. You've got to grow it. Otherwise, it's just more fun to do it that way. So thank you guys so much for being a part of today, being a part of the class. What do we say at the end of the show? It's going to be a great day. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next
It's
show.
gonna be a great day. Chop it, flip it, spray it, flip it. Let me show you the way. It's gonna be a great day. Chop it, flip it, spray it, flip it. I woke up this way. It's gonna
See
be
you guys.
a great day. Chop it, flip it, spray it, flip it.